Hi, I'm Annie, and I'm a miserable cow. Only about 3% miserable today. I'm having a good week. I've been interested in personality type off and on throughout my life. I think I was even professionally typed at a very young age. I was just a really weird kid, just really tense and nervous, just a complete weirdo. So I did have some psychological evaluation. And over the years, I've taken the MBTI test maybe a dozen times, and I always get INFJ. So while the test may be flawed, I do really feel like I am an INFJ. Of course, I could be wrong. Recently, I've really gone down the INFJ rabbit hole of YouTube. I really appreciate hearing the perspective and experiences of other INFJs, just because it feels really good to hang out with someone that you can relate to. As an INFJ, you might go through your life day after day, just feeling kind of misunderstood. So when you stumble upon another INFJ and hear what their experience is like, it's just kind of comforting. One of the INFJ channels that I'm really enjoying right now is the Frank James channel. He's got a lot of excellent content. I highly recommend that you check it out. Frank James also has a podcast on SoundCloud, and I just recently started to listen to those episodes. I listened to an episode yesterday and I learned something so cool. It was kind of a revelation to me. On the podcast, Frank James was interviewing a guy that has a YouTube channel, and he also has a website called Objective Personality. So anyway, this guy from Objective Personality was on the Frank James podcast. He talked about some INFJs being tribe first oriented and some INFJs being self first oriented. He talks about some INFJs having a tendency to secure their own oxygen mask before helping others, and some INFJs have more of a tendency to help others first and neglect their own self-care. This was a revelation to me, because while I am pretty sure that I'm an INFJ, I don't have a martyr complex. You hear in a lot of descriptions of INFJs that they just give and give and give until there is nothing left of them. I'm not like that. I'm actually pretty selfish. If you just ask any of my friends and family, I'm a very selfish person. And I always just chalked that up to some extreme defense mechanism. My tendency to defend myself from being overextended is pathological. But after I heard this description on the podcast of INFJs who are self-oriented versus INFJs who are tribe-oriented, I thought, well, maybe I also just have an innate tendency to take care of myself first. Like any INFJ, I prefer to have meaningful work, and I want to be in a career that helps other people. And I am. I'm a massage therapist. However, I want that time that I spend helping other people to be very planned and structured and compartmentalized. I would love to help you, but can we please schedule it? As a highly structured, planned person, I absolutely will not stop what I'm doing to come help you. But I'd be happy to look at my agenda and help you next Tuesday if that works. Sometimes my mom will ask me a really simple question like, when in August can we have family dinner? Can you join us for family dinner on the third Sunday in August? And so I'll pull up my work calendar to see if I have any appointments that day. And I'll say, oh no, that third Sunday in August doesn't look good. And my mom will say, oh wow, do you have a full day? You're booked out? That's great. And I'll say, well, no, I just have a couple of appointments. And she said, oh, well, when are they? And I'll say, well, I have to be at work and start at 2, and then I'll be finished around 5:30. And she'll say, well, couldn't we still have dinner after? And I'll say something like, well, I have to run that morning, so it's going to be a really busy day for me. And she'll say, okay, so you're running between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., and then you have to be at work at 2, and you're going to be off work at 5:30, but you're too busy to have family dinner. What is it that you're going to be doing when you get home that evening? And in my mind, I'm thinking, when I get home, I need to introspect, and I need to play guitar. I need to do a little writing. But I don't say that because in my mind, I know that it sounds ridiculous. And I do like to get together with my family. But at the same time, I don't really want to do anything ever. I would love to just not leave my house. I fiercely protect the time that I need for self-care, for being creative, for preparing myself, and just for introspection. I am so ridiculously protective of my time and stingy with it. and I'm working on it. That's got to change. I really need to, exercise some kind of opposite tendency there, because I know that it's not reasonable. And if I'm talking to someone who's a stranger, like not my mom, I'll just make up lies, because I know that I don't have any good reason to say no. So I'll say something like, well, no, I can't do it. My grandmother's going to be in town that weekend. My grandma's dead. It's just that I know that it sounds ridiculous. So sometimes I lie to just protect this time that I need to live inside my inner world and make art and take care of myself. So anyway, that's what I've been thinking about today. I thought that was a really interesting podcast. So both of those channels, the Frank James channel is really awesome. And also this other channel, Objective Personality, I really want to explore that channel when I get a chance. And you should check those out too. But also, if you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. Let's get to know each other.